Hello there. Oh, it's been a long time since I've been back in the YouTube world, which is kind of exactly why I'm here talking to you today. Hello. I don't even know where to begin. Firstly, I guess sorry for not posting so much, which sounds like such like a YouTuber thing to say, and I understand that I am not in any way, shape or form a regular YouTuber. I am fully open to sharing pretty much everything, pretty much all of me on my life, online, which is, I don't know, I guess easy for me. And I'm not sure why. Like, I struggle, I guess, sometimes with, disclaimer, this is not really anything in particular. This is just a general life update because I don't know what I'm going to talk about. I'm just going to blur. Here it goes. I don't know why I find it so easy to be so open. And a lot of people ask me all the time, they're like, doesn't it get exhausting, or aren't you somewhat afraid of sharing so much of yourself online? And I'm like, no, like, I just show up in the world, I just exist how I am, and I don't feel any shame in sharing that, and in the good stuff and the bad stuff. So if or when I have had my heart broken in the past, I will share that, and not in a way of like, oh, give me sympathy, in a way of wanting to break down all of the barriers that we put up for ourselves, especially as women. So women to women, this channel was created, and hopefully still is, a place for other girls. Guys too, you're welcome here if you would like to be here. Anyone who's watching this is meant to be here watching this for that reason. A place for us to just be able to fully open up and be vulnerable and connect with one another. And I do feel like it's my dharma, my soul's purpose, to be just an open vessel and to connect with other people, even if it is just like this, through a screen. Not physically connecting necessarily, although that would be amazing if we could all get together and have a huge big family hug. That would be phenomenal, and hopefully one day we can do it when we're out of COVID times. But for now, it's more like a heart to heart, and understanding that you're seen, you're heard, you're felt, you're so accepted, and I honor not only your existence, but everything that encompasses that. Learning along the way to do the same for myself, and I think that's where it all comes from. And I know that a lot of the time, not everyone, but some people assume that I have my life together and that I am some kind of role model. I'm not. I am not. Let's just pull me back down off that pedestal. I am exactly like you. Say that again. I am exactly like you. Exactly. I stumble, I fumble, I fall, I miss, I fail, I flail. I do all of these things. I find it hard to breathe sometimes. I have panic attacks. I have anxiety. I have stresses. And yes, I do like to embody what I call my divine goddess. And that is like the divine feminine within me. So we all know that we're a balance, or not even an even balance, but just a balance of masculine and feminine energy, or should I say masculine and feminine energy, because this is my right side of my body, although it might not look like that for you because you're on the internal camera, but this right here is the right side of my body. And the left of our brain connects to the right side of our body. So our left brain is our masculine, our right side of the body is our masculine. Our left side of the body is our feminine, our right brain is our feminine. So right brain is all of the creativity that we have, and the left brain is more of the analytical, strategic, kind of straightforward processing, I suppose, and intellect, if you would like to say like that. And I am by no means a neuro specialist. Like, I don't understand psychology in the brain in its entirety, but that, from what I've read and learnt, is what I understand it to be, which is why I chose to get my tattoos on this side, because they felt more feminine at the time, and they still do. They're my female reminders, my feminine reminders of the divine and creation, and the divine and the creation and the universe within myself as well. Okay, life update. So I haven't checked in with you guys in a long time for a couple of reasons. One, I didn't feel like sharing. So I'm opening up in every way to tell you that, yeah, I didn't feel like sharing for a while. It didn't feel, I often go through phases where I'm like, yes, I want to share this and I feel creative and inspired and motivated and I want to continue building and creating for you guys. And then other times I can't even find the motivation within myself to do something. And so YouTube, I just, YouTube and I have a love-hate relationship. Sometimes I look at YouTube and I'm like, why? Like, why do we have this? It almost feels like YouTube's in the material world, even though it's not. It's just a platform. It's not biased. It just exists. It just is what it is. And then we choose to use it or to take from it or to give to it what we want in that time. Which is why a lot of people, I think, can see social media as toxic rather than helping or healing, depending on how you use it and the way that you were introduced to it, the way that probably your peers use it, and etc., etc. Anyway, YouTube. Yeah, I did go through a phase where, again, I go through it every now and then, where it feels like that isn't a priority for me. I want to be able to share my life for you rather than for me. And it does seem like sometimes the immediate realm, the immediate life and energy can get really overwhelming and get in the way, so that I don't feel like I have the creative space and energy to then produce something to put out there that isn't necessarily essential or necessary. And even when I do put it out there, you never know actually whether it's helping someone else or whether it's reaching that many other people, because sure, you see numbers pop up, but they're just numbers. Like, they don't actually mean anything. And so as a creator of sorts, and especially as a yoga teacher, the most empowering and the most beautiful thing is when people come up to you and connect with you after a class and tell you firsthand how that class was for them, whether it was good or bad. Like, all feedback is greatly appreciated. It honestly doesn't matter. But to me, especially as a yoga instructor, I don't like the term teacher because I'm not your teacher, you're your teacher, the practice is your teacher, it's all a journey, you understand. But yeah, as a teacher, it is like, if people just got up and left the room without saying thank you or coming up and sharing something about the practice with you, it can be almost disheartening because you're not sure if it's getting through to the people and how much it means to them in comparison to what you put into it. So if you rock up late to class to teach, let's say as a yoga instructor, I rock up and I'm running late and I'm rushed and I get on my mat and I take them through the flow, and then we get to the end and I'm like, okay, namaste, goodbye, have a good one. And I wasn't fully present and I wasn't there for it. It doesn't seem like I need that kind of feedback. But when you put in the time and the energy and the effort and you put in your heart, you lead from a place of warmth and kindness and understanding and compassion, and all you want to do is inspire and open up other people to be able to connect to that within themselves, then it can be quite disheartening to not get the feedback. And I suppose YouTube also is it feels separate from real life, real world almost. Not that it's like not real life, because you do just, yeah, you know, I'm in my bedroom filming, there's shiz everywhere, I don't care. But it can seem quite separate. So to get your feedback, whether it just be comments or just to hear your stories and for you guys to crack open and share your world with me, that is why I do this. I'm sorry for those people who have been asking where I've been or why I haven't been uploading, and I guess that's why I've just been a little bit preoccupied, and I've needed to harness my own energy as a woman, as a being, just in general, male or female. I have been in a phase of my life where I've needed to grasp on, especially after my breakup, just grasp onto what I can and pull in and just absorb and accept the energies that are given to me and provided to me. I've been needed to sit with them and to sit with myself and to come back to a neutral space and to breathe. Honestly, just to breathe. Like right now, take your hand, put it on your heart space, the left side of your chest. Place the other hand over that hand, close down your eyes, and let's just breathe. that was just one breath. Isn't that the most grounding thing to come back to? Oh, I love my breath. I love it. I just want to like hug it. I want to hold it and nurture it and tell it that how thankful I am for it. And I do that in my yoga practice, which is why I'm so addicted to my yoga practice. I guess I've also been absent because I have been busy creating. So I have been using my creative energy and harnessing that and really diving into it, like just face first, smack bang into it, just face planting, like the kind of face plant when your nose goes up and you're like, what the hell was that? Oh, that's right, it's the floor. That kind of face plant. Do you reckon you look a little bit like one of the Who's from Hillville when you do this? Hello. Or like sideways, and with the little cute little uppy noses, the little ramps. I love them. Sidetrack of the century, I'm sorry. Yeah, my nose kind of hurts. So I've been busy creating a couple of things that I'm sure I'll be able to share with you in the coming months, which, as every like influencer will ever say, they're like, I've got something so exciting to share with you. Oh, hold on. Oh my goodness. And I am insanely excited to share with you these things because I think this is probably the first time that I have ever put everything into it. Like I have never been, and I'm so privileged to be able to say this, but I don't think I've ever been this busy in my life, ever, which is actually really like joyous and exciting. Like it bubbles up inside of me to be able to become aware of that within myself, not to say it, but to feel that within myself and to be like, wow, I have been very busy, very preoccupied in a productive manner. That to me is exciting because it means that I have been owning in on me and my power, and I'm finally stepping into that. I know that I've always preached about like doing what you do, exploring, expanding, blah, 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 blah. You know how it goes. We can go on forever and ever. But to actually be able to practice what I preach and to understand it fully. I remember in my 300-hour yoga teacher training in November at the end of last year, we had the most beautiful team, inspiring leaders and teachers, sharing gurus, full gurus, sharing their insights and their experiences with us. But like the very first lesson was, we're not giving you information to absorb. It's like we are giving you information that will hopefully plant the seedling in your mind, and then you don't understand it as fact, as truth. You can't, as a human, you can't and you shouldn't understand something as fact and even as knowledge in general until you have fully experienced something, understood it, tasted it, savored it, chewed it, munched it. It's gone soft, it's gone gooey, it's gone from cold, it's gone to hot, it's gone through all the textures and the flavors until you've been able to swallow that and absorb it, and it's seeped into your system and you've absorbed all the nutrients and all the different flavors and you've had the whole taste sensation. Then you know something to be truth. And I think I'm finally starting to learn that, which is a beautiful and opening process for me anyway. Yeah, so I don't really have any updates other than being busy. I guess I tried once to get back into the dating world and just wasn't ready, and not in a way that like I'm hung up on my ex or whatever, because I'm not. I'm so enjoying just being me. I don't think since I was like 15, yeah, I reckon 15, I've always been that girl who wanted a relationship. And when I was in a relationship, I wanted more of a relationship. I guess I was probably, and I guess it's somewhat hard to admit this, I was probably in some ways hoping that I would help to find myself through my partner, which I know is common. Like I know so many people do that. And then there's the other end of the spectrum where there is, no, I'm so independent and stubborn. And I was both of those, and it was like, I don't need a partner. I love my partner entirely. And I could mix through both, even in a relationship, which for my partner was probably hard because I was like, no, I know exactly who I am. I don't need you. I just choose you. Z snap. And then this side was like, no, I have no idea who the hell I am. I'm in a hole, I'm in a rut, I need you, hold me, love me. And now, yeah, finding the balance between the two, opening up, fully just shedding. Like just shedding every single thing that I thought I knew. Everything. Full just like whooshka, away it goes. That was me. Snake shed, snake shed, snake shed. 100 different layers, thousands of different layers, quadrillion millions of different layers. That's probably not a number. It reminds me of, what are my hands doing? Reminds me of Dr. Evil from Austin Powers. Dr. Evil. And he's like, you just woke up from being in a cryo sleep or a cryo death or whatever. He was cryogenically frozen, and then he woke up, and I can't remember what year it was, and he was like, $2 million. And they were like, so that's actually not a lot of money these days. That just reminded me of that. I haven't watched that in so long. Again, sidetrack of the century. Oh my gosh, my brain does 1 million loops a second. Oh. Again, with the hands. What even was I saying? Who even knows? Who knows what goes on up here? I was saying, oh yeah, shedding the layers. Okay, so I've been shedding all of my layers. I've been trying to embody my femininity more often rather than my masculinity. So I have a good friend named Cam. Cam, shout out to you if you're watching this. I doubt you are. He's never on YouTube. Or maybe he's on YouTube, but I doubt he watches my YouTubes. He is incredible. So he's actually an Olympic swimmer. Go Australia. He's in, well, they're not going to the Olympics this year because of Corona. But yeah, he's been in the Olympic team for a couple of years now. Well, a couple of Olympics, so a bunch of years. He's an incredible swimmer. He's also so intelligent. So intelligent. He's a physicist, and he's been at uni studying forever, and he knows so much about everything. He's kind of like, what did I say to him the other day? He always just asks me random questions, and he also has no filter, which I love, as in not in a way that he's unfiltered and too confronting, but he's just so honest with himself, with you. Like, he just shows up completely unapologetically, and even if something for him is like embarrassing or he's a little bit shy about it, he still tells you exactly what he's thinking or feeling, but he'll tell you that he's a little bit shy about it, which I just think's beautiful. It's such a beautiful trait in a human, and as a friend, I just love it so much, and I'm so inspired by him. Anyway, he asked me a beautiful question, kind of out of the blue. It was something about like, what do you think the relationship between masculine and feminine is, or how do you deal with your masculine? And I think I instantly kind of reacted, and I was like, deal with it. Like, I don't feel like there's an issue with my masculine. Like, I understand that I'm both masculine and feminine, and I think the beautiful part about our human nature and our human conditioning is that we are a mix of both and a balance between the two. And he was like, okay, maybe that wasn't the right word. Maybe not like how do you deal with it, but like, what is the relationship, and when are you in your feminine and when are you in your masculine? And I was like, ooh, good question. I'm going to sit here and ponder this for a while. So I took a couple of breaths. And I was like, I love this question, firstly. And then I thought about it, and I think that my nature is masculine heavy. So the way that I rock up in the world is energetic, it's fast paced, it's hot, it's sun, it's controlling almost. I am a type A personality who likes to invite otherwise, but my initial reaction and the way to show up in the world is very go, go, go. I like lists, so I guess in some way I like system, because it means that I can process things and organize things in my head in order to get them done and to be productive. So a list to me is a productivity thing. And it used to be a to-do list, and then it was a get-to-do list, and now it's still a get-to-do list, but at night I like to do a what I did list so that I can actually feel accomplished for what I did and give some gratitude to the time and the energy that I spent on these creative endeavors or myself, in order to, rather than just like move on to the next thing without feeling any acceptance and pride or accomplishment, to be able to go, no, I did this. So some days it's like, what did you do? What did I do today? And then I sit there and I write in cursive writing really slow. Today, I enjoyed doing nothing. Haven't done that in a while because, like I said, I've been busy. But if that is what you've done, enjoy it. And there has been one day lately where I didn't do anything productive, let's say, but I was productive in connecting with my friends and socializing and organizing. Like I cleaned my room, so that was a big deal, you know. Vacuumed the floors. I even went and vacuumed my brother's room yesterday, and then once I started, I couldn't stop. This is what I mean about the masculine heavy thing. I started cleaning my brother's room because I was vacuuming my room, you know, and then I went out into the hallway, and then I started at the doorway of my brother's room, and I was like, oh, his room's quite messy. So I vacuumed it, and then the vacuum stopped and didn't reach all the way in. So then I was like, oh, okay, I'll go unplug it and finish plugging it in and vacuuming his room. And then I was like, oh, the floor's messy. Moved all of his clothes, folded stuff, reorganized stuff. Meanwhile, he's downstairs in the backyard doing a workout. And then I was like, I'm going to do this super quick. So when he comes up, he's like, whoa, new room, who dis? So I started making his bed, and then I was like, no, I'll change his sheets. I changed his sheets and reorganized his mattress. Was like bent somehow, I don't know how, but I fixed it up. And so I was the good sister that day. But that was like a masculine thing, like the go thing. The feminine thing would be like, let's light a candle, sit here, and we'll just touch ourselves and hug ourselves and tickle our skin. And that, I love embodying that divine goddess part of me, but without dismissing the masculine. So it's not that the masculine's bad, because they are both equally valuable and equally helpful to you as a being. And so I don't just have that in me, we all have that in us. Understanding it's one thing, acknowledging it first, and then basking in it. I like to call it let's call it the A, B, C. I'll find something for C. A, acknowledging. B, breathing in it, just existing, being with it. And then C would be the coming to an understanding, which is when you embody it and you actually, that's what I was talking about before, like you juice it and you understand it. Don't know what this movement is, but it looks kind of cool. Looks like a workout. Oh, look at these guns. Been doing lots of yoga lately. Again, why do you guys listen to me? You've been listening to this for 22 minutes, you poor things. Anyway, yeah, so a lot has happened for me lately. Past the breakup, learning to exist on my own, fully on my own, and love who I am and embody all the different parts of me. That hasn't been hard. It's just been so interesting and beautiful to witness. Really beautiful to witness. I have been, I don't know why that sentence was just split up. I have been I've always been someone who has not, like I have a bunch of friends. I'm not like an isolated human. But I do enjoy me time, and I thrive best in terms of productivity and creation when I am alone. So isolation through COVID for me has been pretty much no different than normal, except for the fact that I can't travel, and except for the fact that I couldn't go to the yoga studio. So I was just doing yoga at home. So those two things, pretty much the only difference. And hugging. I'm a huge hugger, so not being able to hug people. So those three things. But being here in Australia, I moved back into the family home beginning of the year, thankfully, because then COVID hit and it was kind of a big blessing to be here. I haven't been here for a winter in years. Like at least the last 5 or 6 years, I've been off traveling. And I normally do that over winter because I don't enjoy winter. I don't like the cold. But it's like being forced to sit here and to be in winter, to be in Australia through winter, It's been beautiful. I forgot that Australia is like this in winter and that we still get the most beautiful blue sky days. I'm looking at a blue sky right now. It's insane. It's stunning. I think I might go for a bike ride and get myself some celery. Yeah, so that's been really nice. And then I've been forced to confront a couple of challenges with, well, myself, but the way that I relate to my family, in particular my mum. I think mostly because I know that she's going to love me anyway, which is so sad and the worst excuse ever to disagree or to argue or to, I guess, not be soft with someone. But I haven't been. I don't even know ever if I have been a good daughter, like a daughter that I'm proud to be to my mum. My mum, oh, I'm going to cry. My mum is the best woman. Wow, this came out of nowhere, see? Whew. I love my mum so much. Mum, I love you. And I haven't been a good daughter. And that's something that I know I need to work on. Whew. Literally out of nowhere, 0 to 100 real quick. And I will be a better daughter. I'm still learning to find my feet, but thank you to my mum. Thank you for having the patience with me. I know I'm hard to love sometimes and hard to handle every other time, but you do it so well. Ow. Coming back to, anyone else eat their tears sometimes? It's salty and yummy. Yeah, so I've been finding myself, I started dating, I tried going on a date, and it was a great date. It was a great guy. We'd actually met 2 years before. We went on a date just before I met my ex, and so I felt a little bit more comfortable and safe going into that, and more open, and like I wasn't holding anything back at all, which is great. I just don't feel ready yet. Like I don't feel like I'm in that space of wanting to seek out another relationship. I think I just want to wait, and I just trust the universe so much. And for some people that's like, yeah, you're a hippie, whatever. They'll just roll their eyes. But I honestly just trust the universe so much, and I know that in any given moment, I am exactly where I'm supposed to be, learning the lessons that I need to in order to continue to progress, to expand, and to evolve into my higher and better self, so that I can show up better, brighter, and be of greater service to others, to the community, to my brothers and sisters, to you. And I know that, like I trust that so much. That's just like, that's what divine surrendering means. Complete surrender is just like, I just trust you, the universe, Pasha Mama, Mama Gaia, Source, God, Wolfpack, whatever you want to call it. I trust it so much that I'm so exhausted and tired of trying to like nuzzle my way into these little nooks and crannies in order to, I don't even know what, in order to be or to live up to the expectations that I create in my head. These debilitating expectations. Expectations are honestly the root of all heartache. They do nothing. All they do is push you down and push you down and push you down and push you down, and then dig a hole and push you into it, and then cover you in dirt, and then it rains and you're all covered in mud, and not in the fun way, not in like a woo, I'm in a mud bath, but in like a this is disgusting, I'm cold, it's freezing, I'm shivering, my bones ache. That kind of cold. That is what expectation does. And I've been living in my masculine side for a long time, trying to live up to my own expectations. They're not even real. They don't even exist. I'm the only one who knows about them. Probably also my psychologist. Love psychologists. Shout out to psychologists. You go see a psychologist. Good job. If you don't, good job. Up to you. Yeah, so they're not even there. But I tried for so long to live up to this illusion of what I thought I should be. And I'm not talking just about like physically, like the way that you think your body should look, or the way that a pose should look in yoga. I'm talking about everything that I did. If I dissect it and look at it and analyze it closely with a little emotional microscope, that thing was coming not from a place of abundance and gratitude and joy and like just pure happiness and love. It wasn't coming from a place of heart. It was coming from fear of not being good enough, fear of not doing enough, fear of, gosh, I don't even know. There are literally X, Y, Z, countless, millions of things that you could insert there as the answer of what you're fearful of. And they will always be limiting. And then I've been listening to a couple of audiobooks lately. One of the ones that I've been listening to that were really good, actually. One was called The Women Who Run with Wolves. That was amazing. It's super short. I think it's like 2.5 or 3 hours. Beautiful and so heart-touching. Like that whole book to me was like, this is the female Bible. Well done. And then also I'm currently listening to, by Elizabeth Gilbert, I believe it is, Big Magic, which a lot of you have probably read before. I think I'd read it a while ago. I think it was it was a book in an Airbnb that I got bored at one time and decided to read rather than doing what I was supposed to be doing. Because surprise, surprise, this girl gets distracted a lot. Who'd have thunked it? Everyone now currently knows that from this video because my brain is like boop, 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 boop. Anyway, Big Magic. Hello, hello, book open. In my ears, actually, audiobook. And yeah, it's been great. One thing that she said, that even though I've read it before, I don't think I was at the point where I was ready to absorb it all fully. Or like little bits here and there, I would have been like, yes, this is fabulous, but not like the whole thing just feels like it's hugging my essence and my soul. Feels like it's enveloping me in like this warm blanket. And I'm just like, wow, keep talking. Oh, this is also relevant. She was talking about creativity, and no, I've lost my track of thought again. Oh no. Anyone else do this? I'm going to rewind the clock. I'm going to do backwards eye circles until it comes to me. What was she talking about that I liked? She was talking, well, everything that I liked, but she was talking about expectations. Okay, I don't remember, but pretty much different note. Something she still said though was like the impermanent nature of everything, and she used the concept of her neighbor being covered in tattoos, and she said someday she'd just wake up and be like, oh, I'm in a funk, I'm gonna go get a tattoo. And she was kind of like, well, how can you do that? They're so permanent. She was like, these? No, they're not permanent. It's all temporary. And she was like, what? They're fake? And she was like, no, they're not fake. They're just temporary. Everything is temporary. Everything is an illusion. And if we keep trying to like live up to our own illusions, we're going to be pretty disappointed. So I also think I'm going to get some more tattoos. Sorry, Mum. But I'm not going to go and seek them out. I'm just like, I'm not going to get out of my way to get them. If it happens, it will happen. And I think I know what I want and where I want, but at the same time, we'll probably just fill it out in the time. I'm not going to go and get like a random, I don't know, like a bird or something on my temple. But yeah, I used to be so opposed to tattoos. Now I've got tattoos and I still didn't even realize the temporary nature of it all. And then, yeah, I've just got a bunch of friends lately. Again, I still have no idea where this video is going. I'm so sorry if you're still here. But at the same time, I'm not. Thank you for listening. Thank you for honoring me, for being here, and for opening up your own heart to mine, and to listening, to understanding, and probably somewhat connecting a couple of your own dots in along mine. My hands are just off on their own little whim today, aren't they? Pew, 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 witchy. Boop, 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 boop. Anyway, another friend that I'm super thankful for is one of my friends, Sky Bear. We were actually going to run a retreat together. at the end of the year, or well, not quite the end, August, which we had to postpone/cancel at the moment due to Corona, as all of the retreats for this year except for my last one were. If I was going to have met you already and you were coming on one of the retreats, I was so excited to meet you and to hug you and to embrace you. And I trust fully that we will still meet one day and that we'll all turn out exactly how it's supposed to. It already is. This is all happening divinely. As much as it feels like it's working against you, it's not. Nothing happens to you, it happens for you. That sounds like a cliche thing, but say it again. Nothing happens to you, it happens for you. It honestly does. And the whole universe is conspiring for your personal expansion. Because if you expand as an individual, it means that you're woken and we can connect and evolve together as a global collective. I do also think that there are a lot of transitions happening at the moment. There's a couple of conspiracy theories happening around how or why that's happening, to do with different timelines and ideas about the evolution of humanity, to do with the alignment of stars and planets, to do with just general conspiracy theories, mostly I think to do with different calendars. So there's been a couple of different ways of, I guess, measuring time, programming time, you know what I mean, like calendar, different ways of time physically happening, and the different ways that they were measured, whether they started at different times or different areas, or different things happened, they were measured differently, whatever. Anyway, I think that's a lot of them are currently at that point where they're starting to kind of merge and change, and people are like, this is the shift, this is the shift we've been waiting for. And I genuinely think that it is. I don't expect it's going to be some kind of life-changing instant thing. You're not just going to wake up and be like, whoa, what was that? And then be like, oh, I'm actually a tiger. Who would have thought? No, not like that. But maybe your inner tiger can be released and will be confronted and will be provided. We'll genuinely be given, gifted on a silver platter, just here it is. Opportunity after opportunity, and those opportunities will continue to present themselves to you, to us as individuals, and as, again, a global collective, as a community, in order to grow from it. And this is just general karmic cycling. This has been happening. This has been happening your entire life, the entire lifetime, all timelines. This has always been happening. Things go around and they come around, different kind of lessons that you need to learn, different experiences, and they will continue to move around and around and around and around like a merry-go-round or a microwave, until it dings and we go, oh, food's ready, let's get it. We shouldn't be using microwaves. I also shouldn't be using a microwave. We have one in the family home, and I'm ashamed to say that I use it, but I do. I'm so sorry to myself. I'm sorry, body. All those microwaves, it's literally in the name of the appliance, microwave. How are we so dumb? How am I so dumb not to even understand that? I hope they don't roll out 5G, but I do, again, coming back to this change shift thing happening in the world at the moment, not even in the world, literally in the galaxy and the universe altogether, in everything and nothing, understanding that nothing actually exists, everything exists at the same time. It's so mind-blowing to understand that you can't understand. I love that. It's like Inception all over again. I probably watched that movie 100 times and still, okay, I didn't watch it 100 times. I think I probably watched it 2 or 3 times. And still didn't quite understand. But then I was like, you know what? I'm going to understand that I don't understand. And that in itself is pretty cool. Is it not? I think so. Back to the original story. If you're still here after 40 minutes, well done. High five through the screen. Woo. Yeah. Started dating, decided not that I wasn't ready, but, well, I mustn't be ready. I'm just deciding to trust the universe, and when it is ready and when it will just happen. I won't have to force it. I won't have to seek it. I won't have to try. It will just fall into place, and it'll be ending up with your best friend. I can't think of anything else I have to say. I can think of 1,000 more things I could say, because if you get me in a room, we will just blah, 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 and we will talk our way into infinity, into a different lifetime. Also, for my fellow Scorpios out there, and something that you should know about Scorpios if you're not a Scorpio, is we aren't afraid of the darker side of life. That's what really like captivates us in other souls, but also just in general life. So death and shadow work, not in like a morbid way, not in like a, oh, there's a dead bird, let's go look at it. No, that's kind of weird. But in like the idea of death, and not in death itself, but in the fact that like even death is like temporary, or yeah, like it's expansive. So I used to be, I don't even know why I'm bringing this up. Anyway, I used to be afraid of death. And I think because of the like permanent nature of it, like I was like, I don't know what happens. I don't know whether our souls evolve, whether we are reincarnated into a different body. I don't know whether it's just darkness and cold, because that'd be horrible. Or whether you forget to ask for forgiveness of your sins before you die, and then you end up in hell. Like, they all don't sound that nice necessarily. Because what if you get reincarnated as like an ant that someone stands on? That didn't sound too good. But then I was like, no, none of that even matters. Literally none of it matters. And I had a dream. Oh, okay, the dreams. I have such vivid dreams. It's insane. Especially, oh, okay, something else. So especially since January, I want to say since like my breakup, but maybe even before that actually, maybe since like November. Yeah, maybe since like the teacher training in Bali. Bali's such a beautiful spiritual place. I love Bali so much. I've always had vivid dreams, and I often do remember them when I wake up. And straight away I could roll over and I would like say to my ex-partner at the time, partner at the time, but my ex, I'd like tell them the dream, be like, listen to this, how weird's this? But they've not often, or not since I was younger, been more like futuristic things that will actually happen. So what's the word? I know that there's a word, and I know that you're probably sitting there screaming it at the screen, being like, it's a, not epiphany, like a, and not a fortune necessarily, let's go with fortune, you know, like a psychic kind of ish experience, cycle, insight, forget the word, whatever. Apparently Scorpios are also one of the most likely, I want to say the most likely, but I'm not sure on where I got this fact from. So one of the most likely star signs to be more connected to the spiritual and psychic realms. So maybe it's starting to, like me consciously choosing to embody more of my feminine nature and that side of myself. And not even from like a slow nurturing space. That originally was what I was coming from. I was like, I want to slow down and just enjoy and exist and breathe and bathe and nurture and nourish and self-pleasure and enjoy being with other women and, you know, like this kind of hippie thing on a beach all naked under the moonlight, that kind of thing. But at the same time, it's more like I feel like I'm 25, I'm 26 this year, and I just had an epiphany in the shower. I was washing my hair and I was like, I'm 26 this year, and I thought that by the time I was 23, I would have my life together. I thought I'd be like married and have kids at 23. And it was only when I was 23 that I actually went to the prenatal yoga teacher training in Africa, and it was there where I actually realized that I am quite maternal, and was instantly clucky, because just witnessing the way that they see pregnancy and birth and the way that they understand it to be a birthright. It's like, it's our right as a woman, and it's a powerful, pleasurable experience. It doesn't have to be feared. That made me want to have kids. And so then I kind of took that into my relationship, and that, you know, blah, blah. Anyway. So I think, yeah, stepping into the more maternal side of the feminine, rather than just the dancing naked on the beach under the moonlight. What's that noise? Did you guys hear that? It's like, that's the garage, but there was like a vacuum or something. Anyway, again, I have no idea where I was at. I'm not even going to edit this video. Like, I'm sorry, I genuinely don't have the time for it, but also I just think it would be refreshing if I was to watch someone's just general rant like this. Even though it is 45 minutes long, I'm sincerely apologetic for that. Hey Sam, my brother's home, so it's probably going to start getting noisy soon. I think I'll probably have to leave it there because this video is insanely long as it is, and you guys are probably fed up with my face already. But yeah, working on a couple of exciting things, loving just exploring myself and everything that means for the first time possibly ever, also being fully busy for the first time possibly ever, and just unlearning, shedding all of the old patterning behaviors that were limiting me, opening up and expanding into this new timeline with an open heart, an open mind, grace, and a sense of compassion and understanding for not only my own soul and all of its flaws, but all the collective and everyone's, and understanding that I am you, you are me. Ubuntu, I love Ubuntu. I am because we are. I heard that, oh my gosh, I think the first time I heard it was in Africa in 2015, I believe. So like 5 years ago, actually no, I heard it when I was much younger, but then I heard it again when I was in Africa the first time doing charity work there, and I loved it. It's an African word that means I am because we are. And it just makes sense, does it not? I am because we are. I'm no separate from you. You are no separate from me. Everything that is happening to me is somehow happening to you, to that plant. I would show you, I got my plants, I love my plants. To a new plant mum. I'm learning to take care of plants. Yeah, I guess I'm just shifting a lot lately, and there is no grounding, and that's somehow kind of exciting, but also trying to learn how to ground. In terms of the relationship partner thing, if I was to ask myself, and I genuinely want you to ask yourself this too, if you were to ask yourself, if you were to meet the evolved partner of your dreams, would you be ready? And if I was to answer that honestly, my answer would be no. And I am yet to have been at that space. So of course none of my past relationships were going to work out. But at the same time, I'm trying to find the mental balance, like to understand the balance between needing or feeling the need to be completely ready, because I don't think that's attainable, and I don't think that's healthy, to be honest, either. As well as like not relying on someone to do the growth for you. So it's about being open to finding yourself, trusting the universe, and when it's the right timing, you'll meet one another and poof, you'll expand and you'll be able to heal and grow and continue to evolve together. Ooh, back pop. Bad dance. Yeah, okay, that's my cue to go. I love you. I really do. Thank you. Oh my gosh, thank you so much. All right, hand on your heart again. Hand on your heart, other hand on top of the hand. Close your eyes, bow your chin to your chest, your head to your heart. And let's take a deep breath into the belly. Or open the mouth and let it go. Soften, shake the head, shake the arms, shake it all off. All right, I love you. Goodbye. Thank you for being here for 50 minutes.